That was quite a makeup job I had on earlier, and it was quite a job that Tom did taking that makeup off of me. I'll tell you, he really works well with cold cream. And now, right now, we have a very special guest, a very good friend of mine, Kevin Freel. Now, this gentleman here is not only a political consultant in his past, a thespian, a pub owner, but first and foremost, he's an Irishman who's very proud of his heritage, and it's been a very strong influence in his life. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you, Bob. You look terrific.
I feel it's still a little sticky. Kevin, you know, your name's very well known in the area. Before you became the owner of Freel's Irish Pub, of course, you were very active in politics, and you worked for the state, too. What made you leave the state employment?
Well, as you know, I worked for the State Division of Consumer Affairs for 8 years. And I guess a combination of things, a decision to move on, it was time to face other challenges, some differences in policy and personality with my superior, and just a combination of those things, and the opportunity to obviously open an Irish pub.
Now, of course, you left the post, and
Right.
you went on to make a pub. And now, what did you choose the location that you did? I mean, wasn't it a small place, and you know, people would drive by it quickly? What was good about that location?
What was good about it was, one, I could get it.
Okay, that's a good point.
Two, it was a good location because it was downtown, but it wasn't totally downtown. It's exactly 1 minute off of Interstate 95, whether you're going north or south. And the kind of atmosphere that I wanted to put together, that kind of small, intimate, friendly atmosphere, neighborhood-type atmosphere that you find if you wander into almost any Irish pub in Ireland, the smaller ones. I thought the location was just perfect for that.
What about the size?
Well, it isn't, I mean, it's not as big as a lot of the places in town.
But it lends itself to intimacy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of places you go into, if there's only 30 or 40 people in there, you feel like you're alone. In our place, even if there's only 10 or 15 people there, you still feel like, you know, it's got that kind of intimate, close atmosphere.
I know when I'm in there, I feel like I'm friends with everyone. Of course, the closeness of the place lends itself to that, but there are other things unique about O'Freel's, wouldn't you say?
Well, the fact that it's an Irish pub.
Right.
Wilmington doesn't really have an Irish pub, hasn't. The whole, I think, Irish mystique that people kind of get caught up in, I think that Kennedy's had a lot to do with developing that. But I think over the years, God knows how many movies with Jimmy Cagney and Pat O'Brien and Newt Rockney and all those things, the kind of the fighting Irish. The fact that we have the Irish music comes in, the band, the Irish beers we have on tap, you can't get anywhere in Delaware, the jukebox with the Irish music, and of course the wonderful, friendly people that we have there.
For instance, you and your brothers and the other
Myself, my brother Bud, Mark Fahey, my daytime bartender, evening people, everybody. Just that's one thing we strive for, to be very friendly and outgoing.
Now, you're an actor, too.
I have done some acting in the
Besides
area.
acting up, you did some acting, right?
I do all kinds of acting. No. Yes, I've done some acting in the area. I've studied up at Hedgerow Theater School in Media, and I've done shows down at Chapel Street in Newark. And last winter I did a show over at the Delaware Dinner Theater, which is actually right down the street from the pub. I haven't done anything since opening the pub, but I do kind of watch the paper for auditions lately because I'm kind of getting itchy to get back into it.
Are you a single fellow?
Yes, I'm very single.
And available?
Much to my mother's regret, I'm very single.
She wants to get you married off, huh?
Well, you know, when we were kids, she used to tell us, get your education first, then get married. After we got our education, she started saying, you know, when are you going to settle down? Now she doesn't even bring it up. It's kind of gone by the ways.
Well, you know, you're extremely proud of your heritage. Is there a small, strong Irish community in this neighborhood?
There is. Believe it or not, there is a very large Irish community. As a matter of fact, one of the political things I'm doing right now is I'm working for a gentleman named David Levinson, who's running for the U.S. Senate.
Oh, yes, he was on our show.
Right, he's from Middletown. Well, we did a poll in preparation for the campaign, and one of the questions that was asked in the poll is, what nationality do you identify with, or are you? And David just flipped out. He couldn't believe that 26% of the people in Delaware said they were Irish. That's more than 1 in 4, and I didn't surprise me. That's part of the reason I opened an Irish pub.
So what do you see as the future for your Irish pub? Expansion?
Well, we're right now examining the possibility of expanding to the second floor. The crowds, especially the nights that we have music, have just gotten to the point where there's a line outside from 9 o'clock on. So yeah, we are looking into expanding to the second floor and just sort of continuing the kind of fun that we've been having all along.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on our show.
Anytime.
You know, you're an asset to the community. You've afforded Irishmen a place to go, a place to drink. And your participation in politics and theater has been an asset to the community, too. And the fact that you're a bachelor, no doubt, will have the Wilmington women swarming over you, I'm sure.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
That was Kevin Freel, and we're going to go to some short messages, but stick around. We'll be having a lot more for you tonight.